Hi everyone, Charlie Menzies here, the lead designer for Shiver. I'm just going to give you a quick tutorial on how to set up dice macros for Shiver so you can see all of your dice symbols being presented in Roll20. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go open up your Roll20 kind of project as a kind of Director Games Master and go over to Collection. So you click on Collection, you're going to see Macros, Decks, and Rollable Tables. So where we want to start is with Rollable Tables. So if you click Add, it will create a new Rollable Table. And we want to create two, one for our D6 and one for our D8. So our skill die and our talent die. So after you've got these set up, you just click onto them and I'll show you how I've set them up. So for the skill die, you want to label it as 6, as you can kind of see up here. Simply because this is how it interacts with the code later. And you want to make sure the players can roll from this table is also ticked. And then for creating the dice faces, we want to add items. Items are dice faces in this case. Create 6 of those. And when you add one, you'll be presented with a little pop-up window like this. You want to label it correctly. Leave the weight alone, as if there's 6 faces, it will auto-calculate as a d6. And then in here, you'll have a upload window for an image. So for those, we are sending out links and we'll be providing dice images for you. And just to show you kind of what that will be like. So we've got our Shiver dice roller kind of folder here. We've got a written version of this guide that will be made freely available, as well as all the dice images that you're going to need. So before you get started, what you want to do is just get all of these downloaded, and then they'll be ready to upload. So with those downloaded, you want to upload those as individual faces of the die, make sure they're labeled and save. And you repeat that 6 times until you've constructed your core D6 die. Then you want to hit Save Changes, and that will create your rollable table down here. So the D8 is a little bit different. So it's an 8-sided die, but there are only 4 different symbols. So what we want to do is to upload the 4 different symbols as items. And then on these, we want to adjust the weighting so the dice behaves, so the table that is mimicking a dice behaves like a D8. So in this case, our talent, for example, so for our 1 talent symbol, we've got this as 37 in terms of like the percentage of how much this is going to pop up on the die. As it is the most common one, as there are 3 symbols. Then for talent times 2, it's 25, as there are 2 symbols. Same for strange 1, and then 12, 12.5 for strange times 2, as there is only 1 symbol on the die. All of this is on the text guide as well, with all the guidance for the actual weight numbers. So don't worry if you're kind of getting a bit lost. You can go back there, and it has all of this guidance of how to set this up, so the maths is correct. So we just want to save all our changes for our sides and save down, and then that will create our D8 table for the talent die. So these rollable tables, you can now roll these, and players can now roll these using command functions in the text chat. However, that is a bit clunky. So what we want to do is set up what's called a macro in order to make rolling these dice a bit easier. So on macros, you want to hit Add, and this will create a blank macro for you. So I've named mine Shiver Dice Roller. So I just click on this, it'll open up a pop-up menu. So I've named mine Shiver Dice Roller. And then this little bit of basic code, you can kind of copy and place in, and this will start to interact for the T with our rollable tables. All of this is on the text document as well, so it's really easy to copy out. Once you've got this all set up, one thing that you want to make sure is that it is visible to all your players. You want to click on and make sure that all players are selected, okay? And then hit Save Changes. So with all that set up, we can actually see if this is working. So if I go into the text chat now, this is where the roles will display themselves. And then down, and to make sure that you're getting this little button here, if I go back to collections and on macros, I want to make sure I've got quick bar selected and that I've got this selected so it pops up in the bar. So you need to have show macro quick bar and in bar both selected, so then it shows up. Okay. Then we go back to the chat. If I hit Shiver Dice Roller here, then we're going to get a input value. So for example, say I was a warrior and I want to kick down a door. I know I've got 5 core skill points, so 5d6. And then I've got 1 talent die as I'm very good and a bit beefy. So I add that in, hit submit, and then that all goes through. So I can see that I've got 2 successes there. So I'm probably going to kick that door off its hinges. So that's the Shiver dice rolling macros in a nutshell. A little bonus tip for you as well. I love playing Shiver in night mode. The symbols and the kind of blocks show up a lot better. And also, it's a horror game. Playing in night mode does make it feel that little bit creepier. So thank you for watching. All the links you can find in the description below for where to download the dice images and the text version of the guide. Thank you again for watching, and enjoy your spooky games online.